Now at 5, a woman killed while walking on the side of the road.
IMPD now searching for the driver who hit her and left her for dead.
And we're still looking at gray skies across the area. That's going to continue through this weekend before we see some big changes in the forecast.
Big holiday rush is behind us, but now comes the quiet trip back home. Carry on calm ahead on 13 News.
Welcome, and we are taking a live look outside at 5, where that fog we talked about all weekend, not at weekend, oh my gosh, I don't know what it feels like. It's Friday.
Feels like
Just
a weekend.
kidding, that was a pop
it?
quiz for you. All right, that was the sunset going into the weekend, rather, where it seems like it'll be pretty pleasant for us.
Yeah. Certainly mild. I mean, mild temperatures. We were in the 60s today, so if you were out,
like taste of spring.
It really does. It's all going to come crashing down at some point, though, as we know is the case in central Indiana. Once you have these warm temperatures in place out of season, you've got to pay it back with interest, and the check is going to come due sometime late Sunday. Here's where we sit right now. We're currently sitting at 60 degrees. There are some cooler temperatures to the north that will try to push their way in for tonight. This front that's really sitting right over us right now, I've been saying it's meandering a bit, and it will continue to meander this time to the south, taking some of that warmer temperature with us. So for your forecast for this evening, if you have plans this evening, it's going to be a bit on the breezy side. Still going to be mild. Clouds are likely going to stay with us. I don't think we'll have much in the way of patchy fog, but there could be a little bit here and there, and your temperatures will cool down out of those 50s through the 40s for tonight. Maybe even end up with a few upper 30s. I'm going to put 43 on the board here, but more clouds than anything else before we see some big changes starting as we get closer and closer to the weekend. Tomorrow, you're up into the mid-50s, still very mild by December standards, but not as warm as it was today. And then check out Sunday's forecast. Look at this. This does not look like the end of December, and it all comes crashing down at the end of Sunday. Wait until you see the dramatic drop after this coming up.
Thank you, Rob. New tonight, the parents of an Indianapolis teen killed in a shooting on the Kentucky State University campus are now charged with intimidation.
Online records confirm Chardonnay Cleveland and Dejon Darrell Fox were booked and released from the Vanderburgh County Jail yesterday, the two making their first court appearance today.
Earlier this week, a grand jury in Kentucky declined to indict Jacob Bard, an Evansville native, for the shooting. In court documents, police say Cleveland and Fox made several social media posts threatening violence against Bard.
Tonight, IMPD is investigating a deadly hit and run over on the west side. A woman killed while walking on the side of the road.
Our Ella Rhodes brings us the latest.
IMPD says a car hit and killed a woman walking on this street after midnight Friday.
Everybody speeds. I hate driving down here.
Police say the car hit the woman a little south of this busy intersection at Girls School Road and Rockville Road. IMPD says the driver fled the scene. Investigators found the car, but not the driver at fault.
It's very sad and tragic to hear, but it doesn't surprise me, especially here. Like I said, people speed. There's potholes. It's not a great spot to be, and it's definitely not a great spot to walk.
People still take the risk, walking in the shoulder or in grass feet away from traffic.
Drivers in this area do tend to be very reckless when they drive, not paying attention to a lot of things.
Mark McAlevey with Health by Design says pedestrian safety is a crisis in Indianapolis.
Life is more important than getting somewhere on time, and that we need to focus our design and the way that we build our communities so that the people who live in there are the ones who are the most safe.
According to the dashboard from Safe Streets Indy, incidents involving cars killed 36 pedestrians across the city this year. DPW says in 2026 it will make major improvements on Girls School Road from Perimeter Road to 21st Street, including 25 new crosswalks and upgraded sidewalks.
And it just takes time. But time is no excuse for allowing our roads to be conduits of crime.
So what happened to 36 people doesn't happen to another. In Indianapolis, Ella Rhodes, 13 News.
As Ella said, IMPD found the suspected car involved, but not the driver. They encourage anyone with information to reach out to their non-emergency line.
We just learned the name of a 6-year-old boy killed in a crash on the northeast side. Jeremiah Dior Poole died after the crash on 34th and Keystone on Tuesday. 3 other kids were in the car and were hurt. Police believe a truck drove through the intersection after the light turned red and hit a car turning onto 34th Street. Both drivers did stay at the scene.
Noblesville police just announced the arrest of a 21-year-old driver after a crash on Christmas Day critically injured a passenger in his car. INDOT cameras captured the aftermath along I-69 near Cynthia Ann Road. Police say the driver veered off the road, hitting a guardrail and rolling his truck. Investigators learned the driver was over the legal limit and arrested him for an OWI. Police say he also did not have a driver's license and could face charges for that.
Tonight, Indiana BMV is urging people to drive sober as we head into the New Year's holiday. A good reminder at all times of the year, too. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, December drunk driving deaths are among the highest in the past 15 years. Latest numbers from 2023 show more than 1,000 lives were lost in drunk driving crashes.
It's about that time of year when family and friends and loved ones embark on an annual post-Christmas journey back home.
However, if you do plan to travel, there of course will be some crowds as everybody else heads home. Our Alex Almanza is live at the Indianapolis International Airport with more on that race to get home. Alex, how's it going?
Yeah, despite the mass crowds on planes, trains, and automobiles here at Indianapolis International Airport, we haven't seen any major catastrophes. We've seen about 3 cancellations here on the status board, and most of the headaches are going to be some of those delays. We've seen some families with upwards of about 4-hour delays, and the biggest strategy that they have is using some of those apps to make sure that their flight is on time, or if it's changed, that they get a status check using those apps. They've also made sure to be aware of some of those TSA restrictions. Of course, you might be familiar with the 311 rule or other things like that. There's a lot of information on TSA's website that'll get you familiar with that. We spoke with one family that's going to Chile today. They say the biggest strategy is patience.
We tend to use the apps. I mean, we checked on how's the parking looking, what was the security lines like, and everything was looking really good. So we use that to help plan our timing when we'd get to the airport. No, just maybe happy holidays, happy new year, and safe travels.
Again, looking at the board, we're looking at about 3 cancellations, and most of them are out east to destinations like LaGuardia and Newark. What AAA is also saying is that they expect a record 8 million passengers to be traveling over the air, and it's going to be a lot of domestic flights that they're seeing some of those record jumps. So that's an over 2% increase from last year. So definitely a lot of passengers in the air. Ladies?
All right, thank you, Alex. I mean, it's a lot of people that time of year, and then I feel like January just gets so quiet to travel.
I know, it might be a good time to book a trip if you're looking to get out.
Get a ticket there, Alex.
All right, well, today kicks off the start of Kwanzaa, and Hoosiers are finding plenty of ways to celebrate.
The AMP at 16 Tech hosted a village celebration today. That represents the unity and the commitment to building harmony with families and communities and finding a collective purpose.
Today's event featured local vendors, performers, a prayer, panel discussion, and wellness hour. The community procession started just a few minutes ago at 5 o'clock, and then at 5:25, it's the lighting of the black candle. And then coming up at 6 o'clock, there's a performance planned by a local singer if you'd like to head down there for that. Kwanzaa celebrations continue through January 1st. And today also marks the beginning of that post-Christmas sale season.
Yeah, we thought spending was over, but it's not. People are flooding stores to snag a deal, so we sent Rich and I up to the Fashion Mall to see how those crowds are looking. Rich?
Well, just look around me. I mean, the crowds are out tonight for that after Christmas shopping. The foot traffic is heavy, but I tell you, the real traffic is out in the parking lot. It took us a while to find a parking spot, and you're probably not going to get anywhere close to the door. Why is everybody out today? Well, the calendar just so falls on that Friday after Christmas, and so a lot of people off today. It's going right into the weekend, and then you've got all those gift cards that you got for Christmas, or maybe you do need to return something, and there's a lot of big deals right after Christmas. I talked to one mother and daughter who hit 2 malls today.
We live like an hour and a half away in Winchester, so we don't really have a mall. So we came to Castleton, and now we're here.
So what's it like out here?
It's not terrible. It's not bad. Like, it's been fine. I mean, it's busy, but not crazy.
So why is it so busy the day after
I
Christmas?
think there's some good sales, and I think people got stuff, they want to return it, they got gift cards like you said, so just extra money maybe to spend.
Did you get what you wanted?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so why are you here today?
To make some returns and then a little bit extra.
Something didn't fit, something wasn't quite right.
Yeah, I just had to return a pair of jeans from Abercrombie because they were too short, so I had to get the longs.
I know about having to get the longs at 6'4". So yeah, it's a big day of shopping here, a really big day of shopping. The Fashion Mall at Keystone Crossing is packed tonight. If you're coming out, they are open until 9 o'clock this evening. You want to make sure that you have some patience. Don't fight for that parking spot. Just, if you can, walk. Find one out there and walk to the door because you're going to be waiting a while to find that really good spot. And if you are returning something, make sure you check out your store's policy before you get here so you know you've got everything you need in order to exchange that gift that maybe wasn't quite right for you. Now look over here. Is this typical? A couple of guys shopping, right? They're who knows where the wives and the daughters are? They're just relaxing, right? This is what guys do when we go shopping the day after Christmas.
Well, at least you're giving them something to watch. They got a show now.
Yeah, you're the entertainment.
All right, thank you, Rich. Well, ahead at 5:30, we're talking post-Christmas sales strategy and how to make the most of the deals you see and avoid the offers that don't seem as good.
And for this weekend, we are expecting the temperatures to stay mild, warm yet again all the way through Sunday before a huge front comes through and changes everything up. You'll need those heavy coats again. I'll show you when.
But first, the West Coast hit hard by heavy floodwaters. The destruction and danger still impacting communities across California. Next.